gentlemen, the Marsden family would like to thank you for your attendance this evening in honour of the two great legends in South Australian football. As we pay tribute to the late passing of Paul Marisic, passed away in April, and we have a coin cross this evening from Elio Marisic. We'll be tossing a coin between the two teams this evening, so thank you for your attendance.
For the last week, the poor guy on the right, he was all leaking. The roof was leaking. Oh, he was. He's on the live stream tonight. You know what it is? I can't see. I'm too short. Hit. Five brown food. Last week. I was just telling the boys you got pissed on last week. Thanks, John. The only name I remember is
I said Greek supremacy.
That's it. Well, I'm not that Greek, though.
You're Greek enough for me.
My favorite news channel in the world. You saw the other one as well. Your one,
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The run's out wide. last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
On the back of the announcement at the celebration of football, MetroStars will be investing $50,000 into a coach education fund. $35,000 will be invested into community coach education, which will see 19 courses at club venues and over 500 community coaches. Working closely with clubs to develop and upskill coaches will strengthen the grassroots community, which will obviously benefit the football community as a whole.
It can only be beneficial because most of the clubs, most of the coaches start off just as parents coaching their kids' teams, and they're learning on the job as much as the kids. So this would be perfect because not only would kids be getting coached, the coaches will be getting coached.
As a club, we struggle to attract good coaches, and having this sort of funding coming our way will actually allow us to sort of offer more boys and girls out there to actually coach at the club. Everything comes at a cost these days, and this award presented to our club here again will allow our average parents, supporters, players to the opportunity to come out and actually to take on coaching and to be part of it. They've got a passion about this sport and a passion about this club. They'll be able to come here now, get trained up and actually take on the team and just move forward with us here.
The remaining $15,000 will be invested into a joint initiative with MetroStars, Adelaide United and PSV, where selected coaches and technical directors from South Australia will be given a professional development opportunity to go to PSV in October 2025.
Once you get the bug for the coaching, you love it, and you love seeing the kids improve, especially the connection to your club. You want to see the kids come through at your club, and it's just a win-win for everyone.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome here to TK Shuttle Reserve for round 15 of the men's RAA NPL here in South Australia. MetroStars versus FK Beograd, first versus second here for the final match of this round. A very, very intriguing one. Both sides involved in cup competition in the past 2 weeks. Now able to look towards league form, but only one of them playing in the cup final. I'm your commentator, Seb O'Neill, joined by the one and only Antonis Pagonis. Antonis, lovely to have you here for what is probably a very huge game in perspective, if depending on the result as well.
Exactly. Thanks for having me, Seb. It's a massive game in the context of this season. Win today for MetroStars, and they can start thinking of that Premier's trophy towards the end of the season. But I tell you what, FK Beograd win today, might start getting a little bit nervous, MetroStars.
They can close that gap tonight with 3 points, FK Beograd, but of course they do have MetroStars, who have hardly conceded goals this season across both Cup and League. We'll talk about those Cup games in a little bit, but for now we'll go through the starting lineups for both sides, starting with the home side of MetroStars. As we see, both sides do line up.
With the Champions League song as well, Seb, we must say.
Once again, as mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, the coin toss will be performed by
Just waiting. I think there is some kind of ceremony going on. Is there Sponsors Day today as well? Had a Legends game in between the WMPL match, which finished 2-0 the way of Metro United against Adelaide Uni. So it has been quite a long afternoon for some who have been here the whole time at TK Shutter Reserve, Antonis.
Silence as well for Lewis Pumpkin was grandmother. Thank you.
Just pausing for a moment's silence there as we see the mascots run back into the tunnel. And yeah, just I was saying, a big day for MetroStars as well. The WMPL match earlier on today at 3 PM, the Legends match in between MetroStars and FK Beograd Legends, and of course this big one here now has been a long day for some, Antonis.
Yeah, it has been, but you know what? It's crazies like us make this a big day, but for a club like this, it's you engage every single part of that community, because at some stage someone's going to come down, be it someone that supports Metro United to come watch their team, be it someone that supports MetroStars in 2025, be it a friend, family, relative of one of the legends, be it a sponsor. So days like these are pretty cool and special for our community, and it's good to see MetroStars putting it on. And again, huge occasion for it, top of the table clash.
We'll go through the starting lineups of both sides. We see both captains conduct the coin toss, starting with MetroStars. In goal, number 1, Cody Ostrike. Number 4, Noel McNamara. Number 5, Christian D'Angelo. Number 7, Hamish Gow. Number 8, Christian Satira. Number 9, Owen Windsor. Number 17, Thomas Visser. Number 18, Fabian Barbiero. Number 21, Arby Molas. Number 22, Jackson Walls. And number 25, Michael Cittadini. And a photo as well taken with our refereeing staff. Isabella Cooper in the middle tonight with assistant referees Nick Elligan and Zach Britton. We'll go through the away sides now. In goal, number 1, Jamie Signorello. Number 5, Cooper Nunn. Number 6, Kristen Constantopoulos. Number 7, Massimo Falco. Number 8, Jason Constantopoulos. Number 10, Anthony Trimboli. Number 14, Udai Koike. Number 16, Alex Banjak. Number 17, Lorenzo Baselli. Number 18, Riley Stam. And number 22, Floribert Neon-Kuru. Metro looking at their starting lineup, not a side that changes too much, but we see the experience Fabian Barbiero return to the starting lineup as well.
It's very handy when you can bring in someone like that into your team. Seb, and again, we know what he's capable of, his quality, his leadership, and like a fine wine is the saying, isn't it? It's not the first or last that will be said about Fabian Barbiero, who's still going strong here in our local competition, captaining his side on top of the ladder.
And for FK Beograd, only the one change for them as well. Ethan Harrington dropping to the bench for Riley Stam. Does that surprise you?
It's interesting because I think Ethan came off in the cup just after half-time, I believe. So Riley Stam's been introduced in today, maybe a bit of a different approach. We know Anthony Trimboli's been leading the charge for FK Beograd, so maybe adding another target man is something they've identified in the MetroStars team to exploit, but we'll see how it plays out.
We get underway here at TK Shutter Reserve. First versus second between MetroStars and FK Beograd. Both teams involved in the Cup semi-finals / Australia Cup qualifying finals in the past 2 weeks. FK Beograd more recently, but with disappointment against their biggest rivals to be unable to qualify for the national stage, as we see an early ball over the top, but will be taken by Signorello.
And just a point, Seb, about these changes. Michael Cittadini's introduction means that Tom Visser has gone to fullback today, something he did against Croydon last year.
It's something that he used to do when he played for Croydon.
Exactly.
Baselli tries to get forward past Jackson Wall.
And on the other side, ironically, at left back again, we see Yuda Koike has gone to left back like he did after half-time against Adelaide Croatia.
Quick ball over the top from Fabian Barbiero, finds Cittadini. Has to go against Massimo Falco. Gets it into the area. It's an easy finish early on for Owen Windsor. Less than a minute and a half. And the league leaders extend by even more so.
Yeah, that's it. You see the quality of MetroStars. You give them that tiniest bit of space, they're going to make you pay. We're talking about the introduction of Michael Cittadini, and that's exactly who sets it up. Such a dangerous cross, picks out his teammate, Owen Windsor, in the back post, who cannot possibly miss. And the league leaders show us just why they're there, and by some amount now, Seb.
Owen Windsor makes that his 10th of the season, entering double digits, and Michael Cittadini with his 6th assist of the season. Showing very early on how deadly those two together are. And already, somehow, FK Beograd find themselves behind.
Again, they have shown us in recent weeks, Seb, they know how to hit back. We were commentating together the Adelaide City game, where they can see an early goal, and they're able to hit back and actually take the lead within minutes. So we'll see what they're made of. We know they faced a very tough loss in the last week, midweek, and I'm sure it can be playing in the minds, but this is the game you want to respond in. And we know in this league everyone rises to play against MetroStars because they are the standard setters from the last few years.
I think you even see that in the WMPL quite a bit with West Adelaide. You've seen Adelaide Uni as well have a 0-0 draw a couple weeks ago. Metro United having a 3-3 as well. Again, these two sides who are so sought after, I think, for their position.
Well, you hear it when you go around to local clubs. They talk about them coming up and how it's a game where you test yourself. So, again, MetroStars and West Adelaide in the women's are the chase. And here's the chasers with Anthony Trimboli.
Trying to make his way past Tom Visser in a, you could say unfamiliar, but more so for the fact he hasn't played there in quite a while. Used to play there at Croydon before he joined MetroStars here, and has shone as a winger playing up here at TK Shutter since he's joined.
My criticism with his use at Croydon is because you're taking away from his attacking quality. But when you got the quality of Michael Cittadini on the wing, it's a really good problem to have about who you play. And yeah, Danny Grayson's decided to go with both of them, and my God, having them on the same wing, I'm sure it can cause a little bit of trouble for any opposition.
Of course, they do have Cameron Woodfin on the bench, another player who's had a brilliant season so far, but we do believe that is due to some sickness within the squad.
Yeah, I think a large amount of the squad has been sick throughout the week, and I think Cam Woodfin is probably one of them, which is why you see him on the bench. And I think it was last year as well that had a bit of sickness going around during one game and I think it was against Olympic, and it was quite a bad loss because, of course, being sick or recovering really affects you, and especially your ability to go and play football for 90 minutes. So really big for MetroStars getting the lead, because again, it means you have to push yourself a little bit less. And I know that Danny Grayston and his assistant coaches will still be driving for that, but again, it's a lot more comfortable pushing from a goal up than from a goal down or being level. So something to think about with MetroStars during the week, and that mass illness has been going around, but it's good to see them fielding a squad today. Heard a few jokes about not knowing if they'll be able to do it, but they're back and they're looking good early.
Here's another one over the top for Satira. Bounces nicely. Signorello has to come out. Satira against Koike. Lets it roll out for a corner. The pace of this match is already so frantic.
Again, we spoke about how teams want to rise up the level of MetroStars. Well, MetroStars are definitely taking this seriously as a top of the table clash. They're here to play.
Options of both Gao and Cittadini to take. Corner comes in, headed away in a slight push from Jackson Wolves. And it will be given as a free kick. Just waiting for the ball to be retrieved by whoever is back there, but instead I think they just opt to kick a new ball back in because none of the kids seem too bothered.
I reckon the FK Beograd coaching staff saw who was behind the goal, realised they had an age of about like 8 average, and decided, yeah, we're just going to get a new ball ourselves.
That ball looking quickly forward, but not reaching. Nice evening for football here. Nice crowd is built as well. Few on broadcast side, and you can see them lined up along the fence over on that side of the main stand. The tents as well to the left for the sponsors. That was a lovely day earlier on as well when that WMPL match was played, and that's an early mistake. Takes it out for a goal kick, and Beograd almost struggling at the moment.
Yeah, again, it is MetroStars that have come out to do the chasing, even though they're the ones that should be the ones being chased, really. They're looking very hungry, forcing those errors, and you can see that's all it takes with a team like that. Jamie Signorello just a slight second too long with the ball, and you get yourself into trouble. And again, Owen Windsor has already got the taste of a goal today, and he's hungry for another one. Just got to settle here, Beograd, before the damage increases.
Owen Windsor, someone who's probably kept quiet in that cup game against Comets 2 weeks ago now. But as we've seen in the league, has been lethal from pretty much anywhere. First player to reach double digits is the Englishman.
Can we see under Danny Grayson the strikers, Temokovsky, Nagamatsu, Windsor, not just all great goal scorers, but really similar types of all-action strikers. They'll hold the ball up for you, they'll run with the ball for you, they can head the ball.
Tall.
Exactly. He's really got a type, Danny Grayson, doesn't he, about a striker? And it works, doesn't it? Because, again, he's on track to be his third goal scorer, the top goal scorer of the league.
Here's Noah McNamara. Going all the way back to Cody Ostrike.
And that's another player that's really taken it up this year.
Looking for his 7th clean sheet of the league season this afternoon is Cody Ostrike.
And I think he was really solid last year, but for me this year, he's probably been the best goalkeeper in the competition, in my opinion. Again, probably not called upon as often as some other keepers, but always rises to make that save for me. It's a new air of confidence with him this year, as there's a foul there committed from Avi Mollis on Yuda Koike, with both men on the ground as a result, and I reckon both will need some attention.
As we do spoken play, this year has sort of been about new signings standing out. I mean, you only have to look at these two sides alone, with the likes of Lorenzo Baselli has been very outstanding for FK Beograd. Even MetroStars in their midfield, someone like Hamish Gow, who normally is the standout player each and every week, has someone like RB Molas, a new signing, and is almost being outshone at times by the new teammate.
And again, having someone like RB Molas, for the first time in a couple of years, is playing in that sixth role as a defensive midfielder.
Consistently too.
I reckon is his best role. We've seen him in the past with Olympic and Comets playing more as a 10. We saw him in his last year at LA United as a fullback. So to be in that position as well complements his team so well. We've got a Tom Visser as well, who's having a fantastic season. On the Beograd side, Cooper Nunn returns, who's, again, going by your team of the week, Seb.
Probably the best defender of the year so far, I'd have to say.
I think you can make a really solid argument. I don't think I'd be disagreeing with you. And there wouldn't be too many that would. Kristen Konstantopoulos joins his brother, and Kristen joins his brother Jason, and he's back playing football for the first time in a couple of years, and he's been really impressive in a team with an already stacked midfield. For me, Beograd's got one of the best midfields in the competition. Their captain, Andoni Natsiopoulos, is out, and they can still argue they've got one of the best midfields in the competition with Konstantopoulos brothers, your Baselis, your Freud and the Yankurus. It's a really impressive side.
These are probably two sides with the two best midfields in the league when you look at it.
And again, they lost... Beograd's lost someone with the quality of Damian Luic. Can play in the midfield, can play at the back for them to Adelaide Comets, and can't argue it's affected them as a stretcher's coming on, unfortunately. It seems like for RB Molas, who was singing the praises of.
Now, looks like that substitute's already confirmed. Jake Porter coming on for the now injured RB Molas.
Awful. You never want to see that happen. Unfortunately, earlier today was another game, Adelaide United game, where Henry Lynch had to be stretched off with, I think it was an ankle injury. Wishing him all the best, and we're wishing RB Molas all the best as well. You never want to see anyone go down like that and not being able to leave the field.
Looking at it from a footballing perspective, though, with Jake Porter coming on, the change will, the shape, would have to change, you would imagine. Because you're bringing on a striker for a midfielder. So whether or not you have someone like Barbiero maybe playing a bit more deeper.
I think that's a conversation Christian Satira and Fabian Barbiero are having right now. It does seem that like Jake Porter's taking position here on the right, so I'm assuming just Christian Satira will play a lot more centrally, and Fabian Barbiero is going to drop back and play almost alongside Hamish Gow.
Yeah, does look like that at the moment, the way they're shaping up.
A massive opportunity for Jake Porter, though. Has received it for an unfortunate reason, but again, in a team like MetroStars with so many quality players around, these opportunities don't come around very often, and we know how much trust Danny Greystone has for his starting lineup. So to be able to get about 80 minutes of football or so here for Jake Porter is a huge opportunity. It will almost be the amount of minutes he's had in the season as a total, I'd say it'll be close to it.
I was going to say, this is his now 14th appearance of the season, still yet to start, and only with the one goal for the young striker Porter. So will get a very good opportunity to try and show a bit more of himself than he has been able to this season.
And again, and now we're talking about a starting spot available for him if he can impress.
And then the conversation, I guess, moves to Beograd, with Metro losing someone with the quality of RB Molas, perhaps put them at a slight more of an advantage. not having to play against someone like RB Molas. But still saying that, they get forward again. Satira with a nice ball through over the top. Signorello had to come out quickly to clear first time. And then the same happening again over the top. Header won by McNamara. Goes all the way back to Ostrike. Cross to D'Angelo. Satira finds the first time ball out wide to Jake Porter. Baselli getting in the way and winning the ball. And Porter intercepting himself and taking it out for a throw.
And I think that's what Danny Grayson will be looking for today, Seb, with RB Molas not in. When Beograd start, or if Beograd start overrunning in the midfield and they start getting a little bit fatigued, I think you'll be seeing Cam Woodford coming off the bench to refresh them. But again, it's his tricky balance because obviously he's on the bench, probably not been training due to that illness. How much can he play and how much can you realistically expect from a recovering player? Don't envy the role of a head coach.
Beograd will get the set piece opportunity here from the free kick. Delivered into the air. A player is down and it will be called for a free kick as well. Bit unnecessary and a bit of a waste. Metro, again, so quick to get forward. Porter. To Walls. Now with D'Angelo. Was out for a good period of time already this season and has pretty much slotted right back into the starting 11 these past few weeks, including in that cup game.
He's got a couple of goals for himself too, back-to-back games. I believe in the cup, which you can argue was an own goal.
I think in commentary I said it was an own goal initially.
I would have called that as well, but the stats don't lie, Seb. And I think he scored on the weekend as well, so he's got a couple to his name for a centre-back.
Quite a few goal scorers in this team this season.
He doesn't make the rules. Play Beograd. Come on.
We've got the throw taken by Koike. Konstantopoulos has the pass behind. This game has been played at such an extreme intensity so far. And just by watching play, and you can hear the voices from the sidelines and the players too about how they just want to move constantly. And really, it's hard to keep track of at times because of how quickly the ball's going back and forth.
And you know, Beograd usually play a game like that as well, but this tempo is completely dictated by MetroStars today. This game is on their terms so far. And again, another reason why they'll be coming in so amped today, MetroStars, is one of the teams that have lost to this year's FK Beograd, which
kick-started FK Beograd's season.
Exactly. FK Beograd's only lost twice since, and one game was midweek to Croatia, and once in the league to Campbelltown. So, and remember, they came into the MetroStars game without a win. FK Beograd, they'd lost to Adelaide United, they'd lost to their rivals, Adelaide Croatia. Round one, I can't recall who they played, but they didn't win that match, I'll tell you that much. And yeah, MetroStars was the first win, a real gutsy win. And like you say, it really changed them, and they've been fantastic since. And that's why I think many were thinking they come today looking for that response after going down to Adelaide Croatia. Well, we haven't seen it quite yet, but as long as it stays 1-0, they're definitely in this.
Long one looking over the top for Windsor. That's Signorello. Timing his capture well. Just under 20 minutes played.
Adelaide City was the other loss. There we go. I only know because we commentated the return fixture together the other week.
Here they get forward through Lorenzo Baselli. The Italian making his way into the box. Here's Baselli. Just losing his footing on the ball, and Jackson Wall's getting the better of him. Koike trying to win it back. Konstantopoulos now with the ball. Takes it back to Lorenzo Baselli, just putting a ball into the area, but again, just not on the same wavelength. D'Angelo. Header won by Nunn into Satira, and now Neon Kuru. Which is kind of ironic considering Neon Kuru is probably the name that haunts FK Beograd at the moment.
Local football works in mysterious ways.
Strong challenge in there. Ball won back by Floribert Neon Kuru. Oh, Signorello having to work on his feet. And again, a prime example of that quick pressure being put on by MetroStars. Barbiero. Wolves. Looks for a ball through the middle. Fortunate with that touch, I think, there, Neon Kuru. Falco, whose unfortunate handball did lead to that penalty and the loss against Croatia Raiders midweek.
Again, it is a heartbreaking loss for them, but you can't let that wear you down, because at the end of the day, they are where they are on the ladder. It's got to take advantage of it and maximise that season you're having, because again, they've been up. They've been up for a couple of years now, and they haven't been able to play finals. They should be playing finals this year. You want to make an impact. You want to make up the numbers. So it is an awful loss for a club like this, but the quicker you shake it off, the more benefit you'll see.
And of course, it probably might be unlikely due to Metro's position, but if Beograd do get 3 points and continue to challenge, there is still a spot in the Australian Championship on the line for first place in the NPL this season.
That's it, but again, it does start with a win today for FK Beograd, so they've got the work cut out for them.
That's why I tried to be as nice as possible when saying it might be unlikely, but it's still very possible. Neon Kuru's pass does reach Konstantopoulos. Goes down and no foul, says the referee, as Metro look forward through Gao. Has Satira making a run in through the middle. Hamish Gao trying to slip a ball through for Satira in the area. Needs to be put back in and going out for a corner. Quarter of the way through this match. Corner comes in at the back post. Not sure if he got a flick there, Cooper Nunn. He did, and it will be a corner. We do have a fair bit of tall timber to MetroStars, specifically looking at the partnership at the back of D'Angelo and McNamara, who's gone up the pitch to try and win a header from this set piece. Corner from Gao. And that one, not as nice as the first. Back with Signorello. This first half of the half has flown by, it seems. Could almost forget that there was an early goal. This is a lovely little run through here. Needs a finish. And that is gorgeous. And a second for MetroStars.
I believe that was Owen Windsor again with the finish. And They're playing phenomenal football today, MetroStars. You were just praising how quick the game has gone, and with football like this, it's understandable. And I mentioned it's being played on their terms, and we see it again. Tom Visser advances from his left back position. He might be left back, but spiritually he's not. And intercepts, he's able to go through and lay off the ball for Owen Windsor, and a phenomenal finish. That's a striker at the top of his game. Roof of the net, nothing the goalkeeper can do.
11 goals now for Owen Windsor in his first season in South Australia. Already on for a hat-trick. What do you see FK Beograd really needing to do from now? Because it is still early in the match, but they certainly haven't looked the better of the two sides so far.
They've got to make them a bit nervous there. They have had nothing to worry about yet for MetroStars. They might here.
Konstantopoulos just holding that ball to try and make the right decision, but again, still it bouncing about, making its way through, finding themselves down the wing. Losing the ball there, no foul. And Metro just play themselves out of defence like it's nothing.
And that's what I mean, because everything's going your way, you're playing like you're $1 million. And you can see the confidence coming through. So you've got to make them nervous again, make them double guess themselves a bit. That can be a positive attack, a strong tackle, a good turnover that leads to some doubt. And they've got to keep the ball for a little bit. They haven't been able to keep the ball, and we spoke about the quality of the midfield. They're accustomed to having it. MetroStars are not allowing them to have it. So be it you have to skip a line to escape the press, or be it to play around the press, they've just got to have a circuit breaker at FK Beograd, because it's all going MetroStars' way so far today.
It's a late collision there, and it will be a free kick.
We talk about that change that that Beograd has made, and they've got a couple up front now with Riley Stam and Anthony Trimboli. Well, why it hasn't worked for them so far is because they haven't had the ball. So again, then you can argue maybe be more beneficial to have a midfielder out there. But then if you have the ball, you'd like another striker. So damned if you do, damned if you don't.
So what you're saying is FK Beograd need to play with 12.
Haven't checked the regulations.
Yeah, you can hear that shout of to squeeze them quite literally and just really suffocate FK Beograd whenever they have that ball, to give them almost no time at all to decide what they want to do with it.
Well, keep an eye out on every second touch a Beograd player takes. There's a MetroStars shirt around them. Every second touch they make, they're being pushed. And this is why you're seeing that disjointed football you're seeing from them today, because they're not being allowed the space.
Trying to drive himself down the wing there, back into the centre to Neon Kuru. There's that example. None. Looks for the wide ball in Baselli. Keeping it in play, perhaps not as nicely as he might have wished, but that second touch was quite nice. Windsor. What a ball through from Owen Windsor. Chittadini has options to go with. I think maybe he was looking for the shot, but Owen Windsor full of confidence. Ball over the top. Needs to beat Noah McNamara in a foot race. Even with the head too, trying to poke it past. Still just trying to battle.
We spoke about that all-action striker that Danny Greystone likes. It's exactly an example there from Owen Windsor. Scores a couple, can put killer passes through like that.
Needing to act quickly on that ball there. That one will ride just out of play. As we inch towards the half-hour mark. Barbieri using his body well there against Baselli. And a nice little handshake as well to acknowledge, I think, the fair challenge between the two.
Love to see it.
Koike. Nyonkuru. With Baselli and now Konstantopoulos. Baselli just hounded there by Owen Windsor. Now Nyonkuru has a bit of space to run into. Nyonkuru, nice, just poke ball into the centre. Not a bad finish, oh my! 2-1! Anthony Trimboli with a screamer!
Spoke had a nearly a circuit breaker, Seb. I reckon that will do. Unbelievable shot by Anthony Trimboli. And shout out to Froben Nyonkuru for the run. Breaking open the play, allowing his team to have a moment to breathe. Passes to Anthony Trimboli, and we talk about a strike at the top of his game. He's another one as well. He's having a phenomenal season. A turn and a shot into the top corner. Absolutely magnificent. And he's one of the senior players, and he stood up for his team, who's absolutely needed that. 2-1 here at TK Shutter.
I did not even anticipate him going for that shot from that angle. It seemed so tight, and it seemed like he had no space at all. No right.
And I'll tell you what, Cody Allstruck was a full stretch there as well. It's not like it caught him by surprise. He was expecting it, he was there for it, but it was so well placed, they couldn't quite get to it.
Here they come forward again. McNamara has Riley Stam right on him. And then winning a ball there. Lost and regained by Gao. Now Porter. This is what first versus second should look like. Finds Gao against Koike. Gao back out wide. Satira needs to find the cutback. Does do so. And it's in from Windsor. And that's his hat-trick. In less than a minute of Trimboli's goal.
To paraphrase a quality commentator said, this is what first versus second should look like. Action on both ends. This is unbelievable, and FK Beograd will be kicking themselves because they worked so hard. Such a quality moment for Anthony Trimboli, but MetroStars hit them right back from end to end, and an absolutely phenomenal team goal there for MetroStars, and hat-trick for Owen Windsor. Unbelievable. What a day he's having.
I think he's a striker, not a right back, Antonis. You said they hit him right back.
Oh my God. Didn't realise I was commentating with Johnny Keko.
Back underway here as quickly as it was before. And Beograd's back with a 2-goal deficit, but have now shown that they are capable of a reply. Ball finding only Jackson Walls, was looking for Baselli. Porter goes back to Jackson Walls. And Baselli just applying the pressure. Koike wins the header in midfield, only finding Christian Satira. Plenty of space there, only finds Massimo Falco. Nice ball through the middle. Gao intercepts. It's a good ball in. A good run, I should say. The ball not as nice. Pre-anticipating, I think. Nice to flick it over to play the ball. McNamara takes no chances of that one and clears it forward. Windsor there. Nyonkuru winning the ball back. The pressure is relentless
Again, you see that confidence of Windsor going for things he's got no right to go for, and actually coming out of it with half a chance. That's what a hat trick inside half an hour will do for you, I guess.
He looks like he's still on for more.
This game looks like it's on for more.
Here's Jackson Walls. Has Jake Porter. The ball just behind him, but will chase it down to retrieve. Nice footwork from Porter there, right on the byline, takes it past one and then another, back into the centre. Edge of the area, Satira, now Gow. Oh, this is nice. Hamish Gow. Oozing.
Confidence, huh? Funny thing. Scored a very similar goal to that last year. I think we were commentating against Harry Hills. Ren Nagamatsu and Chitadini with a lovely assist.
Still looking for something more, FK Beograd, as they should be. Ball into the middle. Headers won by D'Angelo. Gow flicking away. And Porter committing a foul there on Koike. We have said how big this match is in context, but do you think if Metro do continue to go on this path and do take all 3 points, that makes the total race all but a race for the rest of the season?
For me, it does. Depends who you ask. There's people that are a lot more optimistic than me. But again, it's not just MetroStars' qualities. They've got a track record of knowing what it's like to be in that position and closing it out. The challenge for them, shall I say, though, is making sure they trust their team as a whole, not just the starting 11. Because it's a long season, and we've seen them run on empty the last couple of years towards the end. This year, they've got Australia Cup. If they go like this, they'll have the second division as well. So if the title race or the premiership race begins to be decided, I'm very interested to see how Danny starts trusting his squad to ensure their pace through the season instead of going full on.
Chinadini! Good save from Signorello. Had to be made. Wolves. Porter. Has had a good showing so far since coming off the bench, has Jake Porter. All the way back to Ostrich. No clean sheet for him tonight. Ambitious shouts of handball, I think. I think Lorenzo Baselli knew what he was doing there. Really good battle between what we've said is probably one of the best defenders in the comp against the best striker in the comp, looking statistically. None. Finds Trimboli with the flick. That's the ball taken off of him though by Barbiero. Porter tries to turn against Koike. Doesn't do so initially, and that's a late one from Koike, and it will result in a booking.
And I think Koike was trying to get a witness statement there from his coach. That it wasn't a foul, but I don't think that's who our referee today will be listening to confirm if that happened.
Friendly conversations, I think, is the best way to put it, down on the touchline.
Always colourful. needs commentators when you got this?
It's always good when you're at a ground and you've got the benches on broadcast side, so you can eavesdrop on every word. Not even eavesdrop. I think they're saying it loud enough so everyone can hear it. Back underway. Stam leaves it for Trimboli. McNamara with the good challenge in to win the ball back, but doesn't keep it. Trimboli. Ball into the centre. Does find Baselli. Back into the middle. This finish! And Ostrike with the acrobatic save, I think, even though it was going wide. I was trying to think of the right words there.
Got to have your bases covered, Sam.
5 minutes and left till the half. Metro in a, well, to put it bluntly, a deserved lead.
So they've ticked every box this half, and they were just beaten by a superb goal from Anthony Trimboli, which is what's keeping his team alive in this.
All the way back to Beograd. But I think it's good to see, at least from a neutral standpoint, that Beograds do have the fight in them tonight. And they have scored. But still, as you can see here, Metro don't really care and are just relentless.
It's ironic though, because this is what FK Beograd has done to the majority of its opponents this year. Wins breed confidence, and then you play with that swagger and that arrogance. But again, I think Beograd's run into a team that's just been like them. And when we talk about confidence, you spoke about the Cup semi-finals, and they went opposite ways, obviously. So Beograd know that they can do it against MetroStars, but it just hasn't been the day so far. And we mentioned how they beat them earlier in the year, and I think that's what's driving MetroStars today. They've shown up to show that we've got this team. And so far this half, it's been a masterclass from MetroStars.
And just going back to those cup games, actually, we might do that in a moment as we see Beograd get forward again through Falco. We'll look for the cross in. Does find it. Might be a bit too much. Baselli. Perhaps nearly against Jackson Wolves. Those two having a nice battle, and that's an easy push for a free kick to be given. They will set up for the free kick. Free kick for Beograd. Again in a good position. Delivered at the back post. Only finds the header away. Konstantopoulos puts it back in the area. Pinballing about backwards and forwards. Might get a light touch on here. Still going. Ostrike getting a hand and taking it out for a corner.
Really awkward there for MetroStars. Cooper Nunn nearly finding himself in the back of the net, and really well done by one or the other, for me, top defenders in the competition. Noah McNamara, but a really important intervention there by Cody Ostrike.
Another set piece. A corner this time for Beograd. Delivered right into the middle. Almost headed off the line there, I think. Trimboli. No foul by Porter.
Come on. You can see it from here.
Yeah, just going back to those cup games, it wasn't like I think we've had in previous years. One sort of been tight, the other's sort of been a bit more far gone. I think you may have to look as back as maybe Metro Burkalla, and then the game, I actually can't remember what the other game was. Was it Comets Campbelltown as well?
I think so, rings a bell.
But this year, I think if not for the late penalty, probably could have both gone to extra time and probably both gone to have penalties. Here's Wolves. Plays it out wide. Now making his way into the box is Chittadini, right on the byline, puts it into the centre. Finds the edge of the box. It's not a bad hit from Fabian Barbiero as we inch toward additional time.
And you mentioned that about those close semi-finals, and I think that's emblematic where our competitions are right now. It's so tight, and even with Adelaide Croatia winning today, good luck guessing who's going to go down this year. You know, yes, MetroStars are, it seems like they're running away with it, but everything else, literally everything else, is up for grabs. And again, Beograd win today, they managed to turn this around, and that's up for grabs too. But again, usually we have a runaway premier. We've got someone that's fallen so far away that it's foregone conclusion.
Only have to look to last year.
Not the case this year. Everyone can beat everyone on their day, as these two sides have shown us this year against each other.
Owen Windsor having a much better day tonight than he did last time. Did get a goal for Metro, but was only a 91st minute consolation goal. Whereas I would imagine a hat-trick in the first half would be much more pleasurable.
For the first half hour as well. Made up for all that lost time.
D'Angelo, as we are in additional time now. Ball looking long. Header won by Falco. Windsor winning that header. What do you imagine both sides' team talks for halftime as we nearly enter towards that time?
Yeah, for MetroStars and knowing Danny Grayson will be keep the foot on the gas. Don't give him an inch, because of course Beograd does have the quality to overturn this if you allow them to. And I think for Beograd it's just about, again, making MetroStars uncomfortable. Almost kind of like Croatia did to them midweek. Not allowing them ball, keeping the ball a little bit, escaping that press, and backing themselves to create that moment of brilliance. And again, goals change games. You put another one in the back of the net, and provided you don't concede a minute after, we're talking a very different story second half. But again, I don't think it's going to be grim quite yet for FK Beograd. I know they'll be backing themselves, and they've got the receipts for it this year. So again, I think both sides will be feeling, again, MetroStars close out this game. Beograd, you're still in this.
Throw it on the far side for Beograd. Another throw for them.
Again, we have to remember though, with MetroStars having a few players recovering, may they slow down in the second half? Who knows? Will that be enough for FK Beograd to capitalise? So, questions.
And even looking at FK Beograd, they do have someone like Maxim Ivanic to coming off the bench, was a super sub a few weeks ago against Adelaide City. We saw firsthand, won them the game.
Exactly. And again, Christian Borghetto is also someone that's come off the bench to score, so they've got quality there.
Porter against Neon Kuru. Gao looks wide. This is some nice passing here. Looking for Gao, has Barbiero in behind him. Instead goes back to D'Angelo. Into the 4th minute of additional time. Of course, did have that injury to Abi Molas.
And the 4 goals.
And the 4 goals, yes. So would predict still a little bit more after this already allotted time. Barbiero. D'Angelo goes all the way back to Ostrike. Barbiero went down a little bit earlier, I think, but still managed to keep the ball in. Again, Metro go forward again. Jackson Walls. Gao Might look for a shot here. Hamish Gow! Signorelli up to the task.
So if you're watching at half-time, just go back to that little play and count up how many passes MetroStars put together in that play, and it will tell you all about what a team they are. Because, again, once they have it, they'll play around you and they'll do it with confidence. And, again, we saw someone like Windsor can score it from the goal line, or someone like Gow can back himself from that distance. They've got a lot of tools in their box, MetroStars, and that's why they're where they are.
Ball into the area, headed away. Just needs to be cleared, otherwise Metro will get another opportunity forward, and some poor touches there leave it out. Of course, they will find out their opponents in the round of 32 as we enter half-time this Wednesday. I think the national round draw is, this will be very interesting to see who MetroStars and both Adelaide Croatia Raiders get. Could even be each other.
It could be. I would hate that, though. I'm sure they would too.
Half-time here at TK Shuttle Reserve. Metro in the lead, but Beograd still having more than enough to try and fight back. Half-time score, MetroStars 3, FK Beograd 1.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
What I'm excited about, like the most, how we can come together, learn about everybody, because we're not the same, but we're somehow the same.
The community came to government to express their concerns about young people. It is our role to listen and it's our role to act.
There's so many kids wanting to play the game from all walks of life.
African Youth Program was established to help Africans through sport, cultural identity, mentorship.
Having a program that's going to target the African children, given it's their sport of choice, presents a huge opportunity to link participation in football with education, which is a perfect mix.
I think the African Youth Program will be a very inclusive program with different teams, different schools coming to play with us.
It's like a very big opportunity to expand skills, knowledge, and in different areas of life.
Most of the kids will grow from this program to be able to become valuable, positive contributors in our society.
Like a voice to be spoken with and not being scared to show your skills.
This empowerment program has many different aspects to it, and of course sport is one of those, but it's actually really about finding your place in the world.
I think everybody's pushing in the one direction to make sure that we can make a real difference.
It's not just a game, it's a very passionate sport that millions of people around the world love to play. That's what football is.
puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins, the eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
It's deemed as an Italian club. That's a bit fictitious. They called it Salisbury Internationale because that's what it was. It was full of internationals from all walks of life, and it continues to be that. Obviously we had an Italian background, right, but throughout the 50 years, it's been a big dynamic, and it's still changing, so it's great.
I think it's an exciting opportunity. Obviously the new State League 2 system, got the North and South, and I think the final series is definitely something that we want to be a part of and want to be involved in, so it's definitely an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, when I seen State League 2 North, I was all over it. I don't want to travel at all, so I was all about it. Wife was all about it.
Always been a Northern boy. I'm 30 seconds down the road. Played for this club for 4 years a while ago, and it's just my family as well, been here as well, so it means a lot.
Everyone around the club's been so welcoming. All the people on the committee and around the club were so nice from day one, and same with the players. Got some nice experienced players out here who are really nice and welcoming to some of our younger players, so that's been really nice to have.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Coles Mini Roos is more than just football. It is a place to find our feet, learn new skills, and meet new friends. Football starts here. Find your place. Join our team.
For Skimitsi against Ulash. Still trying to win against Skimitsi. Oh, and a save with the legs from Delangus. The space to run into. Amanda has one in the centre. Does reach him. Needs to find the angle for the hit. And it's a good save by Woodlands. Taking it out for a corner.
Even better save this one than the previous one.
Stem as well. Yeah.
Oh, Signorello, what a save! He puts a fist behind it and sends it for a corner.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the game, there'll be a presentation made by the inaugural medal, the Masters medal, the inaugural one. So, welcome to hang around after the game. Needs to be medal for the best on ground. Presented by Elio Martin. Thank you.
Welcome back to round 15 of the men's RA NPL South Australia. 3-1 the way of MetroStars against FK Beograd. I'm your commentator, Seb O'Neill, and already FK Beograd needing to come back from 2 goals behind Antonis Pagonis.
Yeah, they've got the work cut out for them, but again, importantly from Adrian Deloyer, we mentioned how we know they've got the quality. He's backing them because they're unchanged after half-time, so he's going to see what his players can deliver in these opening minutes of the first half before going to his bench. Of course, we've already had a sub in this game. Unfortunately, Arnie Mollas having to be stretched off with an injury early in the first half. That's be a great attack here.
Here is Konstantopoulos, has Tom Visser right on him. And it will be a goal kick.
And one of the rare moments today that he's had to be a left back. Oh, yeah, we have seen Jake Porter come on early in the first half. He's on the far wing now, and I think the biggest compliment you can give to him is he's fit right in to this team. Hasn't missed a step.
Barbiero has to act quickly with the ball. And that one will go out of play. Throw in to be taken by Falco. Of course, wearing the captain's armband in the now long absence of Captain Andoni Natsiopoulos, who is here, I have seen. As there's a foul in midfield. And clearly everybody agrees with it.
Understatement of the century, with FK Beograd's bench exploding for that down here. Adrian Deloyer is clearly aggrieved by that decision. You mentioned Andoni Natsiopoulos missing, and it does look like it might be a season-long absence. We might see him again next season, so it looks like Massimo Falco will have this job for a while as Lorenzo Baselli picks up the ball on the wing.
The Italian having to take on Jackson Walls. Here's Baselli. Baselli still with it, puts it into the centre. Lacked real conviction whether or not that was a pass or a shot on goal, I'm not quite sure. And a booking will be dealt to the bench. And Adrian Deloya finds himself in the book.
And our referee quoted why he was for as well, which we would not repeat on there.
No.
But if anyone to ask us off there.
Or if anyone heard it, there you go.
Yeah, I forgot. We've got our effects mic on, so. But, you know.
Honesty's the best policy.
Yeah, clear communication from the referees.
Don't think could have been any more clearer as we see this throw in. Right into the box, has the header there, still bouncing about. Oh, an acrobatic effort.
And that's another tool. FK Beograd have Alex Banjak's long throws, which definitely are needed today, with Beograd wanting to tap into every tool they've got, looking to come back into this game.
It does seem like set pieces / throw-ins could be a way back into this match for them. They do have the quality from a dead ball, whether it is direct or indirect, looking for a ball in. But again, it is about winning those opportunities as well.
And look, you just need one moment to go your way, and then the complexity of the game changes.
Hamish Gow knocked off the ball there, finds Falco. No goals in the second half, as of yet. Not that we're expecting much after the first. Collision of legs there, you could hear it pretty clearly, the slap of skin. Nice ball to Chittadini, has Satira next to him, uses Owen Windsor, who's running up forward. He's got it right on him there, and the ball taken off Satira. Konstantopoulos can't find Trimboli. This up. Gow. Chittadini calling for the ball in this close side. Would be a very long switch ball if he had attempted it. Might have it a bit easier with Visser. Doesn't use him, instead drives into midfield. Visser, still with it, Visser. Slices the ball through. Windsor, ball into the centre. Claims of a handball, none heeded. Gow.
Calls of a handball there from the MetroStars bench, and I reckon for a moment FK Beograd started having those flashbacks to midweek.
Good ball in from Windsor, might just need a finish and poke through, and that one will be a penalty.
Card there, so I think it was Cooper Nunn who committed the challenge, but again, this half is beginning MetroStars' way. Yes, it was Cooper Nunn.
So, an opportunity for Metro to extend their lead by 3, and it will be from the boot of Hamish Gow. Has 3 assists, 2 goals. We'll look to make it 3 apiece from the spot here, if not for Jamie Cigarello in goal. And this could possibly even put the game to bed. Here's Hamish Gow from the spot. Finds the corner and now has Metro in an unassailable lead.
Long way back from here for FK Beograd. We've mentioned before what you'd be saying at half-time. Well, an early goal, just like if you concede the goal just before the break. If that's the worst time to concede a goal, right after the break is the second worst time to concede the ball, because again, all those instructions suddenly have a new twist to them and may not even be relevant, dare I say. at 3 goals down. So FK Beograd, tough week from the losing midweek to Adelaide Croatia in the Cup. Now find themselves 4-1 down in this top of the table clash. Unfortunately for them, there's still a long way to go in this game. So they can choose now how to respond. MetroStars are up in the belt. What do you do from here?
I suppose as an FK Beograd player at this point, where can you find that extra bit of fights or spark to at least attempt to try and get something more out of this? Because at the moment, I can only imagine how hard it would be and how deflating it would be to concede again pretty soon after the match starting for a second half.
It's hard, Seb, and especially against the side like MetroStars, who, if you're demoralised, they're going to make sure you're even more demoralised with the way they play and they go about it. So, again, they can show what they're made of, that even when you're down, you're still not out mentally, but it might not mean anything tonight, but in the long term, it might be, again, you don't want to start slow in your next game. So you can start setting up for that now. You can start setting some good habits, some confidence, but it's not an ideal situation. Being 3 goals down never is.
Here's Riley Stamp. Finds a nice ball through to Konstantopoulos. Could be a way back in if this ball finds the middle. A missed clearance initially. But again, the luck falling the way of MetroStars and not of FK Beograd.
Credit to them, Beograd. If you just looked at how they're playing, you wouldn't know they're 3 goals down. The urgency's still there.
Chidadini finds a nice ball out wide. Has Koike to go against. Koike winning, at least for now, and now does the same with the free kick.
I think we're getting a couple of subs, Ethan Harrington and Jared Clark.
Ethan Harrington, who's been a regular starter this season for FK Beograd. And Jared Clark as well, the Vanuatuan international, who has been...
Christian Borghetto got that wrong, so Christian Borghetto and Jared Clark are coming on.
You see Jared Clark coming on there. Has been starting a lot less this season, but we have spoken about that sort of back line, and when he has been coming on, you would imagine tonight will come on in midfield.
Well, and it does look, because he's for Alex Banjak, so it does look like today he's going to be going back in the heart of defence. So I don't know if it's Agent Lawyer trying to try something a little bit new this year, or if Alex Banjak got a knock, or if he's decided to just put him on ice for the rest of the game to have a fresh start in the next game. Because again, after conceding 4 goals and being down 3, you don't necessarily need your best 11 out there. But yeah, he's in the heart of defence, Jared Clark, which is the first time we've seen him there in a while.
And I think when he does play for Vanuatu, has played at centre-back as well.
We've got Borghetto, who's just been the straight swap for Jason Konstantopoulos in this wide area near us, just receiving the ball here.
Borghetto also came on in the Cup midweek, joining over from Fulham United. Windsor. Chidadini tries to find Satira. Now Vista at left back. And again, even when they look like losing the ball, they still manage to keep it within their touch.
And one thing this side has that, again, not many other sides in this comp has, is this chemistry between them that can only come from playing together at such a high level for so long. There's just like a sixth sense about them, knowing where your teammate's going to be, knowing where they want the ball, how they want the ball.
And even when they do bring in newer players, even tonight you see the example of Jake Port, although not a new player and as such more to the game, has just slotted in pretty seamlessly.
Again, it's a system they plug into rather than the other way around. And I guess when they pick up a player, that's what they sell to them. I mean, it's not an easy side to break into. But once you break into it, it can do wonders for you as a player. You know, your status, your confidence, your quality. And again, it's not easy. We hear about the amount of training that they have to do, the amount of extras they have to do, but I guess they're top for a reason, Seb, and they have been the last couple of years. We know it hasn't gone their way on their big day.
I was going to say it's probably a club that's not hard to sell to a player either, with the amount of big matches they play year on year and finals and trophies they receive. And if you're a striker, you tend to win the Golden Boot in your first season.
If you're tall, you can hold the ball up, you're fast. Not every striker ticks all the boxes, but when they do, it turns out pretty well.
Satira to Barbiero has gotten through so far very well. Has had less minutes over the past few weeks, has had an injury. But again, another player who's just come right back into the starting 11 and done his job well.
That's it. And you mentioned before, Seb, about how do you hold your head up if you're FK Beograd? Because at the end of the day, yes, you do lose today, but in Australia, with the final series, you live to fight another day, don't you?
Chittadini on the edge of the box, has Neon Kuru right in front of him just to try and protect that area. Gout. Barbiero finds the ball wide. Tries to take on his man. No foul, though, despite shouts.
As I was saying, Beograd know they can beat them. They've beaten them this year, and what they want to do now is knowing if we come up against them again, which will have to be in the final series, what can we do to get the better of them? We know MetroStars have been fallible in the final series before, and again, there's a lot of football and a lot of time in the legs that goes between now and then. They want to be ready for that. But all they can do is be ready to play next week, and then next time fate brings these two together, be ready for that. But again, you've got to play the long game in Australian football, because the final series is where you make history, really. As frustrating as that can be sometimes for a club like MetroStars, who seem to be doing everything right.
Ball comes forward. Satira finds the cutback. Signorello is there.
Of course, we had that with Adelaide Comets before MetroStars, a very similar conversation. Regular season excellence and a month of greatness.
Absolutely is a theme we do tend to have across clubs in South Australia. Even Salisbury Inter in the WMPL last year, not having the greatest seasons yet, somehow winning against West Adelaide in the grand final. And with some recent recruitments they've have, I'd imagine, looking to do the same again.
Again, it's one of these things about Australian sport. You can call it beauty, you can call it awful, depending on your background. At the end of the day, we do live in Australia. That's, I guess, the sporting culture here. So everyone's got their own opinion, and that's why we love our local league.
Here's Visser. Finds the through ball to Owen Windsor. Puts it into the centre, cleared away. Will be chased down.
From Tom Visser. Again, it's from a position that he's less familiar with, because it's a lot deeper in the pitch from a more central position, but threads it through beautifully.
Throw in for Beograd. MetroStars look to be making a substitute, Cameron Woodfin, to come on at next break. Maybe for Fabian Barbiero would be my guess.
Correct.
I'm psychic. Fabian Barbiero playing just over an hour tonight.
And again, he's your captain, and that's all you need from him. In the heart of a team that can produce that. Again, you can argue games decided by the time he exits the pitch, and real luxury to have Cam Woodfin off the bench.
It's certainly one for the future, Fabian Barbiero, to look out for.
Well, he absolutely is the way he's going. I wouldn't back against him, so that's what I'm going to say.
Falco. Trimboli just only making his way back on his feet as Beograd ready another substitution. Ball falling behind Neon Kuru. Koike with a nice few touches there. Cameron Woodfin getting stuck in early. Very active Cameron Woodfin, almost losing where he is on the pitch. Look at the amount of spinning he had to do there. Double substitution for FK Beograd. Marcus Orchard and Ethan Harrington both to come on.
Kristen Konstantopoulos and Riley Stam, by the looks of it.
Riley Stam, a player who's probably been happy to have a starting berth, but again, just unable to really show what he's truly capable of.
Yeah, real tough game to be a Beograd striker. Yeah, he saw what Anthony Trimboli had to produce to get in the back of the net, and can't really think of too many other opportunities they've had other than that Cooper Nunn clearance off the goal line from Cody Orstrike. Haven't had much joy in the MetroStars defensive box, FK Beograd.
Satira manoeuvres his way through. Porter has Orchard and Koike on him. Porter still with it, looking for the cutback. And brilliantly done there by Jake Porter to somehow make his way through almost 3 or 4 defenders.
Yeah, he's thriving with this game time he's getting. We spoke about it's something that he's lacked. And again, game time's only going to benefit him and his confidence.
Here they go again in the area. Back with Woodfin. Windsor. Nice pass into the centre, looking to receive back from Owen Windsor. Neon Kuru with some nice touches though to get Beograd forward. And now one over the top. Just unable to fall kindly enough.
You see with these subs, Marcus Orchard has gone out to left back, and Ethan Harrington is in the midfield. And we haven't seen him in the midfield this year. He has played as a left back, but he is naturally a midfielder. So you can see, I guess, the silver lining is Adrian Deloy is a bit more free to experiment here in a game that's not going to be won. But again, if you find something that might work for you in the future, it can be a small positive from a night to forget.
Falco with this throw. As we get about 25 minutes left of this match. Koike tries to put a ball in, if not for Thomas Visser getting in the way. Neon Kuru, probably one player who's been a standout for Beograd.
There's going to be a booking here for Owen Windsor.
That makes it his 5th of the season. I'm not sure whether or not that means a suspension, because I think at some point in the season it resets. So I will have to double check if that is a suspension, but whether or not he is still in the books for this evening. Continue on, Antonis.
Can't remember what I was saying, Seb. Can you remind me?
Talking about Neon Kuru, about how he's probably been one of their standouts tonight for Beograd.
I think he's well suited to a game like this. You know, with that low centre of gravity, through that pressure, you're still able to keep the ball. But Again, hasn't been the case for too many of his teammates there, unfortunately, as Falca delivers.
Right into the centre, needs to find the header. Bounces out for a goal kick.
He's a quiet achiever for Ibn Nyankuru. He doesn't often get into the back of the score sheet, even though he can. As we remember, I think Anzac Day last year had a cracking shot from memory.
Against Para Hills as well a few weeks ago.
He's a bit like an energizer bunny though in the mid too, isn't he? He just keeps going. That energy, cutting off play from the opposition, intercepting, rarely loses the ball, advances play for his team. Again, just another part of a really, really strong midfield at FK Beograd.
Wins back. Clark goes back to Kupana. Late challenge in there from Jackson Walls gives Beograd the dead ball. Woodfin intercepts. Looking for Owen Windsor to cut through the middle. Windsor will get it now. And another free kick given away. Clark. Ball over the top, looking for Trimboli. On Windsor. No, McNamara, sorry, with arms in the back. Ball cuts back into the centre, cleared away by Walls.
You still see Anthony Trimboli feeding off scraps, but doing his best with it. He's really had a year to remember so far. Just leading that forward line for FK Beograd and doing it excellently most weeks, as we saw today with a phenomenal goal.
9 goal contributions across the league season. 7 of those goals, 3 assists for Anthony Trimboli. Again, as you said, probably someone who has gone under the radar from people who do watch the league. Satira makes his way forward all by himself. Christian Satira on a solo run here. And I'm not sure if that'll be a free kick or a penalty.
Free kick, I think. Our referee paid it on the first touch when Christian Satira started losing his balance. More followed, but
yeah,
the first touch was outside the area, and I think she'll correctly give that free kick on the outside. Good referee.
She has had a very good game today, I think. Isabella Cooper in the middle, especially with such a tough and heated game, you'd imagine, between first and second.
Yeah, exactly. Big opportunity here for MetroStars. They've got a couple of really good set-piece takers. We know especially what Hamish Gale can do on the dead ball in a situation like this.
Chittadini and Gao over it. I would hope they go direct.
You'd think so.
If I'm looking from an entertainment perspective.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a cross.
They're actually going to kick it all the way back to Cody Ostrike in reset play. Here's the free kick. Here is Chittadini, and Signorillo makes a good save. Corner for Metro. Goes short to Gao, and he delivers the ball instead. Bit too much on it, though.
They lost it in the air there. Just a bit of a wild one.
That's another tug of the shirt, I think, there to pull him down. That will be another free kick. Very short to Gao, as they did with the corner. Now back out wide. Cross comes in the centre. Header won, but nothing done with it in that instance.
That was nearly an excellent cross. Just a really good position. Just a bit lower, and Noah McMurray would have been able to spike the ball with his hand at the back of the net. So, good play there, but the execution was just a couple of percentages off.
Ball won back by Woodfin, falls into the centre. And again, Owen Windsor breeding confidence this evening.
That was created by Beograd's own sloppiness there. I know it can be demoralising being 3 goals down and still having just over 15 minutes to play, but you can't let those habits start creeping into your play.
McNamara wins the foot race against Lorenzo Baselli. It will be a throw. Goes back to Neon Kuru. And a few shouts of a foul there. We'll just end up as a corner. A decent enough opportunity for Beograd. They take it quickly though, trying to catch both Metro and us up here off guard. Falco has the strike from the edge of the area.
Just going to stop here because it seems like a MetroStars player is down on that far side. Can't quite tell who it is from here.
Is it Jake Porter? Possibly.
I think it might be. I think you're right, Seb. I think it might be Jake Porter. Hopefully just a cramp.
"15 minutes left here at TK Shutter Reserve. At the moment, game seemingly over and away. Looking at the table as it stands, MetroStars now put themselves 11 points clear at the top.
And again, that's dominance. The other side of dominance is that MetroStars have only got 1 in the loss column, and that loss has come against the side they've been able to outclass today.
And I think another interesting thing about that is now Croydon up to 2nd place. This is no longer first versus second.
That's it. And what a job George Sonis is doing. At Croydon, 5 wins in a row for his side. And he's an excellent coach who I think has shown he can get the best out of the team, both at, well, here at Croydon, before at Comets, before that at Olympic. The last time they played finals, he was there coaching them. So just a really good coach, doing really good things, and put Adelaide United to the sword today to the tune of 4 goals. Actually, the scoreline we've got today in this game, 4-1.
Looking at the rest of the table, Croatia Raiders sitting bottom with 12 points. Modbury just in front on 13. Both of those two sides in the relegation zone. Above them, Para Hills on 16 points, as are West Torrens Burkalla, but above them on points due to goal difference. Adelaide Comets in 8th on 19 points. Campbelltown just in front with 20 to round out the rest of the table. And looking at those final spots, Playford in 6th with 22. Adelaide City in 5th with 23. Those two sides playing against each other. Adelaide United in 4th with 24 points. As it stands now, FK Beograd in 3rd with 27, as is Croydon, but with a +2 more goal difference than FK Beograd. And then you have MetroStars.
Exactly. Who, again, if they weren't separated enough already, today they've gone to another level.
An 11-point gap and a I'm trying to do the maths here. A 17 gap in goal difference positively.
They're where they are right now in the last years for a reason. They do things right here at TK Charlotte Reserve. And while we were talking, FK Beograd went to their bench once again with Lorenzo Veseli being replaced by Maxim Ivanic.
Can you come? Hey, seriously!
Battling for the ball there. Free kick eventually given. Neon Kuru. Final 10 minutes for these two sides to try and create some more entertainment for us. Satira as Woodfin in close proximity. Vista. Satira. All the way back to post strike. Had Trimboli right on him there. McNamara. Satira. Woodfin, some nice quick passes played over the top now, the Cooper Nunn. Again, Neon Crew there to try and clean up. That one cleared, finding Falco. Then unable to find a teammate there. And now Cameron Woodfin going forward himself. Cameron Woodfin on a bit of a solo run here. The final ball very much lacking though.
And you see the hunger of MetroStars, even with 10 minutes to go, 3 goals up, they're still chasing another goal. Absolutely relentless. And again, like you said, they've said now that with a big lead on the league table, question for them now and Danny Greystone is, well, how do you approach the rest of the season from here? Are you going to start going to your bench a bit more? You're going to start rotating a bit more?
And they're not a team that do tend to rotate whatsoever.
That's what I'm saying, and it's something that has come and hurt them in the past, arguably, in the final series when, you know, there's little percentages matter of how fresh you are, how confident you are, and all these different things. They're as busy as ever this year. MetroStars, league season, cup final, Australia Cup. Unless something ridiculous happens, they're going to be playing in a second division competition as well. It's a very packed schedule. So I think it'd be wise if we start seeing a bit more of a rotation. The quality is definitely there. But it's up to the club to see how they approach it. So it's going to get very, very busy at TK Charlotte Reserve in the next couple of months.
It's probably the busiest we've ever seen a club here in SAB in terms of fixtures, as we see Owen Windsor try and win a ball forward again. But we've never really had a team that has been competing in. It's not like we have, you know, over in England how they have an FA Cup and a League Cup and then you have continental competition. Here it's pretty much just League and Cup. Whereas now MetroStars have the possibility of competing in a second division, the National Cup, still with the South Australian Cup to win, and even the South Australian League.
Well, I guess it's semi-pro level, and it's a real heavy load for a lot of these players that have day jobs, but I guess you suffer from your own success to a point.
I think all we have to do is look at Auckland City at the moment in the Club World Cup. Nice ball through there, nearly finding.
Just don't ask Michael Elise if he's sorry for them.
Another corner. Goes somewhat short to Falco. Ball comes into the area, headed upwards by McNamara. And then back away by Visser. And then booted forward for Owen Windsor. And he could be one-on-one here. If not, again, for Neon Kuru. Again, being very good today in what is a difficult match.
Again, that low centre of gravity there, getting the best of Windsor, being able to sneak in there and steal the ball away. real valuable player for the FK Beograd side. And again, got his recognition last year by being in that NPL All-Stars team.
Final 10 minutes or so.
Dr. Mario, could you please come to the commentary position? Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario, could you please come to the commentary position? Dr. Mario.
Something has occurred here at TK Shutter. Not too sure as of yet, but we will just pause play for a moment and try and check what's going on. Looks like play will resume. We do hope everything is okay. But the football will continue. Clark. Again, trying to look forward, Beograd. Needs to be dealt with at this end of the area. There's two over hit. One back in midfield by Beograd. Clark to Neon Kuru. Unable to find Trimboli through the middle. And again, Kupanum there showing his quality to win it back from Owen Windsor. Nice ball. Ivanic pokes it through into the centre. Could this be a late one for Beograd to try and get something back? A corner will do for now. Ball comes into the area, bouncing about, cleared away. Here's Koike, trying to turn, and now from range, here's Falco! Wide of the post. And Metro will go to their bench.
Lionel Mokitira will be coming on. Looks for Owen Windsor. It's a bit of a restructure there. So Noah McNamara will be going at left back. Mokitira's slotting into centre back for him, which will push Tom Bissett to a more natural position for these closing moments of the game on the wing.
Another player, Muhitira, joining Metro this season, although not being the regular starter like he was at Para Hills, a regular standout player, I think, at Para Hills, as he was last year. In fact, even made his debut with Gawler Eagles only at the age of 17. But I imagine would still want to be pushing for a starting berth here in a very strong Metro side.
It's a tough one to come into because you go from being your team's best defender to being probably the fourth centre-back here. Behind McNamara, Fortunato, D'Angelo.
Neon Kuru finds Koike. Final few minutes here. Overlapping run from Koike. Does find him. And a second ball in only finds a deflection and a throw. All the way back to Nunn. Cuts the ball through midfield for Ivanic. Finds the centre. Falco deflected off Muhitira. Another throw.
You just see how they're jumping in front of those goals, that 3 goals up with a couple of minutes to go. It's desperation to the end. From both sides, though, because even Beograd's creating, knowing it's a lost cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Beograd have Burkalla to look towards next week. Koike on the edge of the area. Trimboli might look to create again. An almost similar opportunity to his first goal there.
Yes, I think the key, though, is this one throw on his left foot.
Beograd with Burkalla next Saturday at 5 p.m. And MetroStars with Adelaide United also next Saturday at 7:30.
Was a cracker last time those two played each other. I believe was it 3-0 or 4-0 or something ridiculous like that.
Yes, I was not too far away commentating at Croatia. That game, not as exciting from memory. I think we did it.
That's
did
very,
no,
that's far away. So what are you talking about? Get you back for the early one. You had someone else on that day.
Christian, I think I was a Christian over there. And then I think we were walking over as a goal was scored, and then by the time we entered the stadium, I think there were 2 more that went in.
Yeah, it was that sort of game. Cam Woodford scored a hat-trick actually that day.
Yep.
Here he is.
Here is the American. Finds the switch ball for Visser. If he can get the touchdown, maybe, but Signorello collects. And we will enter additional time, and you can, at least we can hear the frustration from the Beograd bench. And you can understand it, especially from a perspective where now you've got a team like Metro with such a commanding lead, not only tonight, but in the league table. To not keep them within reach when it's in your own hands would be devastating.
Well, that's the thing now for Beograd. What they're playing for now is finals positioning. So they're going to give themselves the best chance for when that comes around. Then, again, be ready for if their paths cross again, the game can go a bit more like it did earlier in the year rather than today. But like you said, it is shattering when you go from fighting to make a cup final, the Australia Cup, and top of the table here to keep it in reach to having nothing within a few days.
And going down to 3rd. Here comes Metro again to make it possibly a 5th for the evening. Deflected off the head for a corner.
But again, as we mentioned about our wonderful country and its wonderful quirks, we do have a postseason competition which makes the table irrelevant other than the standings. They, of course, the Premier gets their reward for being a Premier, but after that, first just becomes a position, and it just matters who you play. Got another competition to win at that point.
They will put another ball in. Bouncing about, headed away, finds D'Angelo. I don't think I've said his name too much, but that's probably because he hasn't had much to do. Again, Ford making his way through. Some lovely footwork here.
He's lost all the way up there.
A good shot from Cittadini there. And yeah, Muhitira now rushing back to the defence.
But we have seen in the past, especially during this time of Parry Hills, he is very skillful with the ball at his feet. his size and position are very deceptive. You think, oh, you're a big man at the back. He's got a bit of skill about him.
Here's Koike. Puts in a ball through for Trimboli. A bit too much on it, though, in terms of pace. Into the 4th minute, which will be the end of proceedings this evening. A commanding win on the night and a commanding lead in the league as the round ends. And we look closer and closer at the fact that we might be looking at another League One by MetroStars.
Yeah, I think game over today in more ways than one, arguably. You hold it, it's almost unassailable, this lead now. But again, both sides have a bit to think about. Beograd, how do we approach the rest of the season? And MetroStars having to think, how do we capitalise on this big lead? How do we manage our squad? So lots of questions to answer, and we'll be back again next week to figure out some of those answers like we are every week.
Full-time stats there, 11 shots to FK Beograd's 7, 8 on target to FK Beograd's 1. Antonis, who was your player of the match?
Player of the match? Hard to go past Owen Windsor in his hat-trick. I think every chance he got today, he buried, but again, a really good team performance from MetroStars, as we see most weeks. But again, when you have a hat-trick, it's a bit hard not to...
You could have picked a more fun one, maybe, than someone who scored 3 goals.
I'm nice and boring.
Well, I've been Seb Benil Antonis. Thank you for joining me. Been a pleasure, as always.
Thanks for having me, Seb. Enjoyable night.
Absolutely. Full-time here at TK Shutter Reserve. Full-time score, MetroStars 4, FK Beograd 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is an announcement from the FA. FA is swimming in violence and enforce towards another person, including fellow spectators, players, or match team officials, including coaches. Any person who does not comply with the spectator code of behaviour or who otherwise causes disturbance may be evicted from the venue and may be banned by public information.
It's okay, David. You're actually alright.